Hello, it's Sunday the 7th of October, and in this video I'm just going to look at the latest Lotto result, see if any of the numbers could have been predicted and in what ways, and see if I can predict what numbers are going to come out in the next drop. Now this is my ticket that I had in the last draw. I only got two numbers, so at least I want to look at it, but those are the winning numbers. The machine that was used was Lancelot, and it was set balls number 3. So let's analyse that result using the spreadsheet. Now when we're looking at a chart for just the two machines and 4 sets of balls that are in use at the moment, since the numbers went up to 59, we get this chart, and you can see that number 32 is the most overdue for its frequency on that chart, and it's also the number that I should have predicted for my little strategy, in which case it would have worked and I would have won £6, and that's what I did, because besides my Lotto line I also had number 32 on a hot pick, so I won £6 on that as well. So I got number 26 and number 32. So you can see number 32 was most overdue for its frequency, going on the current trend. Now if we look at all machines and sets of balls, then that's what that chart looks like. And this is where the winning numbers were. So if we look at a chart for 4 numbers paired with 32, looking at all machines and sets of balls since they went up to 59, we get this chart. You can see some of the winning numbers are on the edge of that chart. That's where they were. So we've got 30, one of the most overdue, and 23, the second most overdue. Now if we look at the full draw history, and we'll look at the numbers individually, and I will have to just flip that chart around so that the numbers are all visible, and then we get this chart. Now if we narrow it down, so that we're just looking at the machines and sets of balls that have been in use since the numbers went up to 59. And the chart now looks like that. and this is where the winning numbers were on that chart. I think I might be able to flip it back the right way around again now. So you can see those are the recently added numbers, and the other numbers are way over there. But if I narrow it down even further, to the current trend, which is Guinevere and Lancelot, and sets the balls 1 to 4, then now you can see that number 23 was predictable, and in fact I did predict that before, but I forgot about that one because I was looking at recent draw history instead of full draw history. So I forgot to put 23 on, but I did have it on in some of my other hot picks in that draw, because I've been putting the same 3 number hot pick on for quite a while. So I'm still waiting for those 3 to come out together. But anyway, that shows how number 23 could have been predicted. Now if we look at a chart for numbers paired with 23, and see where the winning numbers were. That's where they were. Now if we look at a chart for .32, and that's where the winning numbers were paired with number 32. If we look at a chart for 26, full draw history, that's where the winning numbers were on that. So let's just have a look at the set of balls that was used and the 2 machines that are the current trend. And when we do all that, you can see 23 most frequent, and that's with set of balls number 3. And if we look at just the machine that was used, which was Lancelot, then we get that chart, and that's where the winning numbers were on that. So if we go back to the recent history since the numbers went up to 59, and when we look at Lancelot with sets 1 to 4, again number 32 most overdue for its frequency. And if we look at just set of balls 3, we get that chart. So I'm seeing ways that half of the numbers could have been predicted, but the other numbers don't seem to stand out much. So the question is, in what way were these numbers predictable? That's if they were predictable. And to be honest, it doesn't look like they were. Well, when we look at a chart for 39, it turns out that 23 is most overdue for its frequency on that chart. So if we look at a chart for 23, then maybe it's the same. Yeah, so going on number 23, as far back as the numbers went up to 59 with all machines and sets of balls, then 39 was most outstanding in that way, which means that that number was also predictable based on that other number. So I could have had 39 with 23 as a 2 number up pick as well, and if I'd have done that, that would have been a nice little win. And you can see also 26, one of the most overdue with 23. And 40 is good with 23 at the moment, but it wasn't one of the numbers drawn in the last draw. So if we look at the other numbers, then that's the chart for numbers paired with 26, and chart for numbers paired with 32 looks like that, and that's where the winning numbers were. So most of the numbers were predictable, but I only got 2 of them, so not too bad I suppose. At least I got a look at it. So I think I will change my numbers then, because now that these numbers have come out, then this is what the main chart looks like now. So I've got 54 most frequent, 35 most overdue for its frequency, and 24 most overdue. So there's some numbers to consider based on that chart. Now if we narrow it down to the 2 machines that are in use at the moment, which means only having to eliminate Arthur and Merlin from the list, because the other machines haven't been used since the numbers went up to 59. So we're just looking at Guinevere and Lancelot, and when we do that, we'll get some more numbers to consider. 58 drawn 23 times with these 2 machines, and the rest of the numbers between 7 and 18 times. So 58 quite outstanding because it's most frequent. We've got number 4 most overdue, and 41 most overdue for its frequency. Now if if we look at a chart for all machines since they went up to 59, but eliminate just the sets of balls that aren't in use at the moment. So we're just looking at sets 1 to 4. Then when we do that, see 28 most overdue and 29 most overdue for its frequency. So 28 and 29 are up for consideration. When we look at the current trend, then we definitely want to pick 24 because it's most overdue for its frequency. And now we've got 52 most overdue and most frequent 29, so we want to pick 29 instead of one of these other numbers. So let's go back to the main chart for all machines and sets of balls since it went up to 59. And you can see that if we're going to pick 29 instead of one of the other numbers, then I would say it's close to beating, or at least not far off being most overdue for its frequency. It looks like it's second most overdue to its frequency instead of 35, so I'll swap that one for 29. We want to keep 24. You can see 28 is not all that outstanding. And number 4 is not really all that outstanding, so I think I'll swap that one for 52 to be more in line with the current trend, which is Guinevere and Lancelot on sets 1 to 4. So you can see 52 much more overdue than number 4 when we're looking at this chart. So these are the numbers that I think are most likely to be drawn in the next draw. Obviously, I doubt that all of them will be drawn, but maybe just 1 or 2 of them. So I'll see if any of these numbers are good with each other. So let's see what's good with 24. So you can see 58 and 24 are good together. So that's possibly a 2-number up pick. See that 41's good with 29 because it's on the edge of that chart, and so is 58. So they're good together. That's the chart for numbers paired with 52. Now let's look at 54. So 54 and 52, not too sure about them. So I might consider swapping those. But these other numbers are good together. So I will just have another look at the charts for these other four numbers. So I can see 26 stands out, and so do some other numbers. Now I definitely want to pick 24. I noticed that number 12 is good with 24. So if I look at a chart for number 12, see 28 is most overdue with that, and it was also most overdue with, I think it was the 4 sets of balls that are in use at the moment as well. So maybe with 24 I might have number 12 and 28. And that's instead of 52 and 54. So that's my predictions for the next draw, and that concludes this video. So look out for the next one, and bye for now.